Well, hello and welcome to the Fantasy Threesome FPL podcast. Good to be back in your ears once again. My name's Mike, and for once, I'm hosting just for a bit of a change because we got a poorly Phil, but he's with us. Phil,
Hello.
you don't sound that poorly.
No, yeah,
Well,
I'm day 3 of COVID. It's not the most fun I've ever had, and so I'm locked here in the playroom, with a lot of Duplo, more kinetic sand than you can ever wish to play with. I've got my blow up mattress here leaning against a wall, which barely fits in the room, so me, my blow up mattress, and a toy kitchen, so I can pretend to make meals, even though I'm not actually making them.
Look, let's set a quick go to Ant, then I want to just investigate this further. Ant, how are you?
Well, I'm better than Phil, thank you. I'm not A, got COVID, or B, isolated to a room with loads of Duplo, or that's probably a bad thing for me because that does sound like fun. But
yeah, it does. It sounds all right, to be honest. A week of Duplo and a PC, and I could survive for a week with Duplo and a PC.
Well, I'm lucky. I've got the Sky. I've got Sky TV in here, which is a bonus. So it's good that there's football on this week.
Are you making out, because I know your wife listens to the pod, are you making out that this is a really tough experience for you just so she isn't angry about the fact that you've basically just gone on holiday for a week?
No, I mean,
honestly, if someone said to me, look, I'm really sorry about this, but you're going to have to spend a week with Sky TV, PlayStation, and no children around you to look after.
Sounds like heaven, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm also working.
It's prison. It's prison without the threat of being beaten up. Really.
That's one angle of it, but also, I haven't been very well. My chest hurts, and at night I struggle to sleep. The other night, I've got my cycling water bottle here, because need some water. The other night I was just feeling very cold in the night. My throat felt like I swallowed a bowling ball, despite not really having a cough. And the other night I reached for my water bottle and kind of pulled the cap open like you do. It's like one of those pull-up things. And I pulled it with such vigorousness that the whole thing squirted all over me, sleeping bag, my blow-up mattress. So I spent about 2 hours of that night wet, which wasn't great.
Wow. I can't wait for the publication of the Anne Frank style diaries you're gonna release. It's quite the ordeal for you, Phil. The old squirty water bottle and the kinetic sand. Dear,
and the Duplo.
Yeah,
I've spotted that up there is a Marble Run kit. So if I get bored, I always kind of wanted Marble Run as a kid.
A lot of fun. That and a Domino Rally. Listen, okay, so we've got plenty coming up on this week's pod. People have been obviously thirsty to hear from us because we've been inundated with listener questions. Looking forward to rattling through a few of those. But should we quickly tackle the Watford Burnley game? Because I know that you boys both had players playing, did you not?
I didn't, because I had Dennis, who, of course, like a lot of people, was captained from the previous week when he got sent off, so he had a -2. I think the highlight from that game was Roy Hodgson's interview after the game. Did you see it when he nearly got blown away by the weather?
Brilliant.
Hilarious. The rest of the game was predictably 0-0, but I know Phil had a fairly crucial player in that game, who he needed to come in to beat me this week.
I honestly didn't even realise it was on.
Yeah, I didn't until after.
I mean, when the game was on, I was at peak, not very well with COVID. My whole body was shaking, and simply I found out it happened after the game. But yeah, Josh King did nothing.
No.
What a surprise!
So a rarity, but I don't lose this week, Phil. So unfortunately for you, my friend, just to make matters worse for you, you do have to find something for the hamper. Now, I mean, hint, there is some Duplo behind you. What is it going to be?
Got a little musical kettle here.
It's not a car boot sale, lads.
I got all sorts here.
Any homemade fudge?
In a buggy. Got a doll's buggy here.
Do we get to pick one item?
Peppa Pig themed Monopoly Junior. I've got loads of stuff in here. But it's not really mine to give away.
So what will you be giving
blocks away? Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Maybe you'll blow up bed.
And no, that's our camping bed.
Phil was here.
Yeah,
As dribbled on by Phil Botto.
Well, very much so, because when the nose is blocked,
Really, no need.
You just dribble. Yeah, it's gonna need a wipe down. But
Okay.
no, I'm gonna have to let you know, gents, because the thought hadn't even crossed my mind.
Okay, all right. Do check out if you haven't, as Ant says, the Roy Hodgson interview post match, where he looked like he was in a Whitney Houston video, and the win machine had been turned up to 10. It's a fantastic watch.
Yeah,
Really is.
So there we go. Okay. And what about punts, lads?
Oh goodness.
Feels like a long time ago. None of us, I believe.
I mean, I don't mean to turn all Michael Bottom on us here, but I have no idea who I had. I cannot remember. Not a clue. And boys, can you remember?
No, but none of them came off. None of them came off.
I mean, that's
so with that in mind, listeners were getting in touch and presumably had more success than us, meaning that one of us will get our captain pick and it will be the loser of a 3-way quiz off. Phil, have you got a quiz prepped? I mean, you've had nothing else to do in there, but build some bricks. So
well, I've had to be working this morning. But
okay.
I've got a very simple quiz prepped.
Terrific. Are you bringing the quiz song, or are we just going straight into it this week?
Well, I'll put the quiz in later, the quiz song in later. But it is time for the quiz.
There we go.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so I'm looking for the top 12 informed players because let's not forget, it's been several years since there was a game week. So, it's very hard to remember who was playing well beforehand. So top 12 informed players. How many can you name?
Mike, I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay. I 5.
I'm going to let you have the 5, mate. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you 1, let alone 5.
Well, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. So over to you, my friend.
This in classic Ant tradition, this could be a very quick quiz.
Sorry about this. What about a man who's done very well in Mike's team? Unfortunately for me and you, Phil, Robertson.
Oh wow, yeah, top of the form table. Yes.
Oh, got to find 5. Why did I say that? Kevin De Bruyne.
Correct. He's 5th.
Good grief. Who else has been doing well? Bowen. What? So, Phil, what are you doing? What are those hand gestures?
Bowen. Yes, he's on the list.
Good grief. I'm confused about what's going on here, but I'm going to say Kieran Tierney.
Kieran Tierney. Oh, Tierney. Yes, correct. Sorry, I thought you meant Kieran Trippier for some reason.
I thought you meant Kieran Trippier as well.
I forgot Tierney existed. He is 10th on the list. Well done. So you need one more, which is incredible.
I'm going to say this player purely because the last time I remember seeing a live Premier League game, he scored an absolute beautiful goal. Side check of Chelsea. Or Ziyech, or however you want to. Ziyech.
12th on the list. Well done, you.
Good.
Wow.
Good.
Didn't even go for my hint, which I was doing.
Yeah, what was that hint?
Yeah, what was the hint?
That was
some kind of charade.
Yeah.
Charade. I was doing the Pope's hat. Nick Pope's in there.
Oh, is he? Yeah, I would not have that. But...
Sorry, if I'd known that you're going to do charades as part of the game, I might have played.
Yeah, but I mean, I just knew Ant would. I thought it might confuse Ant more than anything else. So you got Robertson, Harrison. Don't forget you got that hat trick. Pope, Fabinho, De Bruyne, Fernandes, Laporte, Bowen, Ramsdale, Tierney, White, and Ziyech.
Okay,
nice.
Right then, let's play mine then.
Go on then, let's do it.
And you can clear yourself with a win here.
Good.
Basically, I'm going to give you clubs that players have played for. Because I was sat at a game recently watching a player, thinking, and someone said, "Oh yeah, he used to play for so and so." And I was thinking, "Did they? Did they actually?" So yeah, I'm going to give you a list of teams that a particular player that's currently in the game FPL have played for. After each round, you get one guess each. We'll alternate as to who gets to guess first. First to guess, okay?
Got it.
Got that?
Got it.
All right. So Phil, we'll let you go first with your guess this time. First team, Manchester United. 92 appearances.
Oh, you're giving appearances too.
Yeah, why not?
John O'Shea.
Oh, it's not John O'Shea. Just a heads up, he retired from the Premier League some time ago. Anthony, would you like to have a guess?
He said 92 points for United.
I
Luke
actually
Shaw?
know who he is.
What?
Say again. Sorry, Ant. Sorry.
Luke Shaw?
Luke Shaw. No, it's not Luke Shaw. Phil, just so you know, etiquette is to not shout, I know who it is when somebody's answering. It's a while since we did a podcast, but that is kind of...
It's not even that I know who it is, but I've got a better guess than John O'Shea.
Okay.
Well, that wouldn't be difficult.
Next up, 8 appearances for Preston North End. Anthony.
Is this in order? Etiquette.
Yeah.
Sorry about etiquette, but is this in order?
In order of teams they played for, yep.
United and then Preston. Well, the only person I could think who did that was David Beckham.
Heads up, he also has left the FPL.
What? Oh, why didn't anybody tell me this?
Currently residing. I'll tell you what, if we recorded this pod in 2011, that'd be one hell of a guess. Phil.
Literally no idea.
Johnny Evans.
It's not Johnny Evans. That's a good guess. Next up, Sunderland, 26 appearances.
Oh no, he doesn't do FPL anymore. No, I haven't got anyone. No one. No.
Phil?
Sunderland. Danny Welbeck
is the correct answer.
Great shout that was.
Very good.
Very good, Phil.
Okay, so moving forward, we're going to change the format slightly. I'm going to read their career to you, and you've got one attempt at a guess. If you get it wrong, the other player gets to still listen to it, all the information. So it's a gamble on whether you butt in or not. Okay, so you get one guess. So say your name if you want to have your guess. First to get it gets it correct. Phil, you're looking puzzled. Do you understand?
It's just COVID. I'm just a bit tired.
All right. Okay. Here we go then. 2006 to 2015, Chelsea. Whilst with Chelsea, AFC Bournemouth. Whilst with Chelsea, AFC Bournemouth again. Whilst with Chelsea, Oldham Athletic. Whilst with Chelsea, Norwich City. Whilst with Chelsea, Norwich City again. Whilst with Chelsea, Reading. Whilst with Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. Whilst with Chelsea, Aston Villa. Whilst with Chelsea, Southampton.
I mean, did he ever play for Chelsea?
Then, Southampton. Then, Leicester City.
Phil.
Oh, it was a Phil.
Oh, what's his name? Inquiry. The guy that Mike captained.
Yeah,
Ryan Bertrand.
That's correct. Gives you a 2-0 win, Phil. Gives you a 2-0 win. You only need one more to get to take the win. Okay, here we go again then. Just the one guess, remember. 2010, Birmingham City. Whilst with Birmingham, Cheltenham Town. Whilst with Birmingham, Cheltenham Town again. Stoke City. Whilst with Stoke, back to Birmingham. Whilst with Stoke, Barnsley. Whilst with Stoke, Leeds. Whilst with Stoke, Derby County. Then Crystal Palace. Still Crystal Palace. Oh, for the win.
Not sure he's played for Leeds. Jack Butland.
It is Jack Butland. He takes the win. Very, very good, Phil.
Very nicely done.
Because Stoke kept loaning him out because they didn't want him because he kept making mistakes.
Yeah, very good. Okay, which means then, Ant, we need this, mate, for a freeway tie and a rollover.
Okay, well, nice simple one, boys. In many ways, I'm looking for players who've got 6 or more assists this season. There are 11 of them. Phil, would you like to say your number first? I mean, thanks. You look so tired, if that helps.
3.
Wow. he's gone low.
Sorry, somebody just passed me a cookie. What's the question?
Assists, my friend. I'm looking for players who have 6 or more assists this season. There are 11.
I'll go 4.
6.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, you can have that, Phil. 6 it is.
Oh dear.
Trent.
Oh, sorry, you're now talking, Phil. Sorry, just so you know.
If you could, yeah, cheers.
I feel like we need some kind of remote control cattle prod just to kind of wake you from whatever is going on in your
slumber.
Head there. Yeah.
Trent.
Yes, he's got 10, so he's second on the list.
Robertson.
Yeah, he's got 8.
Most of those in recent weeks for Mike.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, incredible.
Salah.
Also 10. So you're halfway.
Salah's got 10 assists. That's surprising. How much has he played? Didn't Pogba get like a ton of assists at the start of the season and then disappear?
Pogba's on the list. He's got 7. Yeah, he's got 7. He's on there. 2 to find. He had 3 in one game, if I remember correctly. Or was it 4?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. He had a huge haul of assists.
Just 2 to go.
Bowen.
Yes, top with 12. 1 to find.
And then I'm going to stick with West Ham and either go for Benrahma or Antonio. What would you do out of those two, Mike?
I would change it to Alisson.
Okay. This is crucial because should you get this right, Mike's going to have his captain pick, so no pressure.
Okay, I'll go for Cancelo. Because I don't know if Antonio or Benrahma would have got that many.
This left field is good. He's on the list. He's
yes. He's got me loads of points.
He has. So you did get all the top 5. You only missed out Mount, Jesus, Antonio was on there, and Nathan Redmond, and our good friend Emmanuel Dennis. They are all the ones with 6 or more. So nicely done, Phil. So Mike, I'm afraid, my friend, captain pick for you this week.
It's all right. I've got a great team, so I mean nothing can go wrong. Genuinely.
Okay, good. So who was the winner? Does anybody know from our? I mean, it feels like a long time ago since that game week.
Well, between the hours of 5 and bedtime, I'm on my own up here, so I'll find out.
And put it on Twitter, I presume. That's great.
Terrific. Right. Okay. Let's talk about schedules. The godfather of FPL, Ben Crellins, got his spreadsheets out again. What's he saying, Phil?
I don't know. I thought you were hosting.
I'm hosting. Doesn't mean I have all the answers. All right. He's released a spreadsheet.
I have emailed you all the answers.
Okay, so Brighton have no game this week, 2 next week, which is this weekend coming. Arsenal have no game in weeks in 25 or 27. Liverpool have a great double game week in game 26. May just be triple captaining that week, but no in games week 27. So, lads, how are we going to approach that?
Good question, because I've got quite a few Arsenal assets, so I didn't actually even realise they weren't playing in 25 or 27, so that gives me a bit of an issue. I haven't played my wildcard yet, though, but I, of course, like I think all 3 of us, I've binned both of my free hits and completely wasted them, so that's going to cause me an issue.
I haven't binned my second free hit.
Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, I've got no chips to play at all. I don't think so.
Oh dear.
Just showing. Yeah,
that is going to be a headache for me. I mean, I was looking at wildcard soon, but that throws a bit of a spanner in the works with that one.
I think with the Liverpool game week 26, I'll have 3 Liverpool players in there, and then hope to have players on the bench that can come in the next week.
Okay, good. Well, that feels like we've answered it appropriately.
Okay, cool.
Chelsea, I should mention, play until game week 26. Burnley are going to have a few. Man United play Burnley this week and then have a double of Southampton and Brighton, but they are so inconsistent.
Well, this is the issue, isn't it?
Not my words. the words of the email that Phil Botto sent me approximately an hour ago.
I mean, I was laughing at the game on Friday night when they lost to Middlesbrough thanks to that ludicrous handball rule. Well, that wasn't until Boreham knocked us out of the FA Cup ourselves last night. Yeah, they're just so patchy, aren't they? And Ronaldo particularly, who I think quite a few people are still kind of clinging on to in dear hope he's going to do something. But yeah, I don't think you could back him at the moment, could you, boys?
Well, if they've got a double game week, I don't think many other people do have a double game week in game week 26. Only, game week 25. It's only Brighton and Man U are the only two teams, and so yeah, it is tempting to get Bruno or Ronaldo, isn't it? Because last time they had a double, Bruno decided to rock up and do some stuff, didn't he?
I mean, his miss on Monday again was quite beautiful. It was actually harder to miss.
Oh, on Friday.
Yeah, on Friday. Yeah. So I mean, he's not exactly banging form at the moment, but they are both at home, aren't they? They are both at Old Trafford. So
Look,
he would be the only one that I would look at.
I think it's worth keeping in mind that I mentioned it last time out that the big score for Bruno came when Ronaldo wasn't in the team. You know, all his goals or assists, they came without Ronaldo on the pitch. And I think with Ronaldo seemingly fit and set to play, I don't think he's quite the same proposition. Young Bruno.
With United, so I've got the slight situation that I've got Mason Greenwood in my team, because ironically I bought him in because I thought Phil Foden was, he misbehaves, and I'm trying to have a team full of nice gentlemen. So I need, so I need to get rid of Mason Greenwood, and I'm thinking now Greenwood's gone. What's the deal with Lingard, or is it this Zalanga kid who's getting some game time? You know, who's going to take that position?
I think Alanga will. But yeah, I mean, kudos to you, Phil, for being such a great judge of character. But I would, I would have Alanga in there, I think.
Wasn't he missed that penalty? He did miss the deciding penalty, didn't he? So that could have a knock-on effect. It's a young lad. You know, how much is that going to affect him mentally would be my only concern. And Lingard is definitely a no. He's clearly had a falling out, I think, hasn't he, with their manager? There was a bit of he'd come out and said he was fit and ready to play, and I can't remember the manager's name, but he'd come out and said the opposite. Ranić, that's him. So yeah, he's not going to play, is he? I can't see. I think he was obviously looking for a January move. Didn't get it.
Anthony Alanga is 4.8 million on the game, and the only other person who I think could come in instead of Greenwood would be Rashford, but he's an expensive punt, isn't he?
Not in form again.
Yeah, 9.4.
Rashford's been playing. So I think Rashford will play, but I think you'll have Alanga up again alongside him. So I think Alanga at 4.8 is great and a differential. Right, so we have some questions in then. Let's start with Betty. Betty from Stockard. She says, it's very well... Why are you laughing?
No, nothing. It's hello, Betty.
It's all very well having Burnley double game weeks, but double rubbish is still not as good as one times good. If you go to the chip shop and you can get two... Betty, sorry, she's gone off on one here a little bit. Forgive me. She asks, if you go to the chip shop and you can get two gherkins to go with your chips for the same price as a sausage, surely you're still going to take the sausage. Ant, would you take the sausage?
I would always take the sausage, Mike, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't? Well, it's a very good point, Betty. It's a very good question as well, because I've been burnt with this before with the double game weeks where I've played a player who's had two games and has got less points than someone who's had one game. In fact, many a time this season that's happened to me, actually, and quite a few occasions. Like I think Marcos Alonso had one game, didn't he, where he got 1 point across the 2 game week. So
yeah,
it's difficult to predict. I think you need to look at the fixtures. But yeah, I mean, as for Burnley, I think this is finally the season that they do go down, and Sean Dyche does not keep them up. I think that was a big game for them on Saturday. They didn't win it, and you look at their fixtures coming up. Yeah, I mean, the only one I can think of from Burnley who you may want to look at is Cornet. I mean, other than that, I wouldn't be backing any assets there, would you?
And do you think you could sell Cornet to me in the style of Sean Dyche?
I have no idea why that was all Scouse then. That
was just a noise.
It was just a noise, yeah. I was going to go for his gravelly voice, but it just came out all Scouse.
Thought you were gagging. Thought you were taking the sausage.
No, I think even I would struggle to do that. But I mean, yeah, you're clutching at straws for any Burnley. Any Burnley assets, boys, that you would put in your team?
What about old Weghorst, the new tall man to replace Chris Wood?
I know absolutely nothing about him.
6'7".
Good grief.
People said that he
Good touch for a big man.
Impressed on his debut, but I kind of think you're going to give your all on your debut, aren't you? I don't like the idea of getting in Burnley players just because they've got a double. It's not for me, thanks.
Pope possibly for me.
The Pope?
The Pope.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe Pope in goal for me.
Well, he's like he's in form, but he's quite expensive still, isn't he? It's like 5-point-something million. I'll tell you how expensive he is because I've come at that with a huge lack of detail, and I do feel bad for that. It's 5.4 million.
It's quite a lot. Yeah. Okay. Next question comes to us from Danny. Danny says, which of these deadline day signings interest you? Should we take them one at a time, or?
Yeah, let's.
Dele Alli 6.2.
Interests me if I see he's starting. I mean, Dele Alli is the ultimate burn. So many times in the last 2 or 3 seasons, Dele Alli has burnt me. But if he gets a good run of games, Frank likes him. Yeah, but he plays in a similar position to the next person you're about to talk about.
You're on mute.
Mike's on mute. This is classy.
Still on mute.
Sorry, I've got so many different mute buttons. I've got mute buttons on my PC. I've got mute buttons on my headset. Sorry. I don't know if you saw the unveiling of Dele Alli alongside Van der Beek. So Van der Beek came out, in all his finest regalia with the scarf around his neck. And Dele Alli looked like the scarf seller that had sold the scarf to Donny Van der Beek. In sort of ripped jeans, denim jacket, hoodie, none of it club branded.
Nice.
Yeah, looked an absolute state. But there we go. Anyway, talking of which, Van der Beek, 5.7 million.
Well, I think, I think Phil's made a good point. You've got 2 players potentially going for the same position here, but, it'd be interesting to see if he does play Van der Beek, just what impact he can make, because United fans did seem to rate him and want him to play more. He wasn't getting any game time, was he? But I'm not convinced he's suddenly going to get massive amounts of game time at Everton. I don't know, boys. What do you think? I think between the two, if I had to pick between the two, I'd pick Dele Alli myself.
I think Van der Beek's got a huge point to prove. And therefore I think he will.
Good. Tends to be the way. Phil, I'm confused by this one. On the email that you sent across this morning, you've mentioned James Justin at 4.9 million. Now, I don't believe he moved anywhere on deadline day.
No, he didn't move anyway, but it's like a new signing, isn't it?
Oh, there's the cliche. There it is.
Been out for nearly a year.
Justin James. Well, it started really well for him in his return against Anthony's Nottingham Forest.
Yeah,
what a performance, boys! What a performance by the mighty Forest. Yeah, no, do you know what? I saw him and I thought, oh yeah, he was always a mainstay in my teams. Maybe he's one to keep an eye on. And then they conceded 3 goals in 9 minutes, and I quickly changed my mind. Leicester look all at sea at the moment, don't they? And I would not be having any defensive assets from them, and certainly not at 4.9 million. But
Brendan is
coming up. Liverpool.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust the selection because Brenda's threatening to. He said, some people have had their time at this club. Some people need to move on.
Strong words, wasn't it?
The squad needs freshening up.
Who do you think he meant?
That's a good question. I'm going to say Harvey Barnes.
Ndidi.
No, really.
Well, he was poor, wasn't he? Yesterday, of course, he had the short back pass, didn't they, as well? Just a lot of players who didn't look up for it really at all.
Oh, who was the guy who did that short back pass? Because he was at fault for the first goal as well. Yeah.
Come on, you were watching it. I don't think being a Forest fan.
I was too busy, focusing on the Forest players.
Who are your top 5 favourite Forest players? And as a
top 5,
Amarty.
Amarty, that was him. Yeah, I think he's going to be gone. What Forest players of all time?
No, now.
Oh,
being a big Forest fan.
Yeah, big Forest fan. Obviously, Steve Cook.
Yeah, good one.
Ex-Bournemouth legend. Samba, the goalkeeper. I think he's decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like Dave Worrell as well at centre half. I think
All
he's
right,
a
you've
good
done
player.
enough. You've 3 point. By the way, you mentioned the keeper. There's Dieng. Is that his name? No, Samba, isn't it? Dieng's
Samba, yeah.
QPR. So you wanna check out. Just put like Samba Forest head injury, and either you'll find a load of kids in the woods banging their heads against Samba goals that for training, or you'll see. I think the question of our last podcast was, when have you gone wow? And I genuinely was sat on my own watching football a couple of weeks ago, and the keeper Samba took a bit of what looked like an innocuous kick to the head, and he emerged with like this massive egg on the front of his head. It was just out of nowhere, just in seconds, bang, pooh, explosion. Check it out. Anyway,
thanks,
bang, explosion, egg on head doesn't make me want to check it out.
I'm gonna have a quick look now. Samba, Forest,
carry on presenting
bang,
the podcast.
Head. There it is. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Anyway, the next one on your list, Phil, that you did email, of course, was Christian Eriksen, who is going to be at 5.5. Really interested to see how he gets on. Great to have him back in the Premier League, isn't it? Just great to have him playing football again, surely, after what we all witnessed last summer. Unbelievable. And might be nice. I mean, if you're looking for feel-good factors filling your team, obviously Mason Greenwood, not so much. But, oh, my days.
Yeah, that just emerged out of nowhere. Sorry, folks listening along on the audio pod. Yeah, absolutely. He just turned around and there it was.
Mike is sharing a picture of Samba's head.
Absolutely horrific.
Samba Forest bang head.
That's actually what I did. Google Samba
amazing.
Forest bang head.
Anyway, Christian Eriksen, I think, will be definitely one to potentially have in our teams. And Phil, if you are still looking for those feel-good players, he's got to be number one on the list, doesn't he?
It'd be wonderful. Obviously, he needs to get up to fitness before I'd think about bringing him in. And I hope that even if he's warming up, I hope that opposition fans as well, give him a good round of applause, because I think the whole footballing world just stopped when he collapsed. And to see him, even on the bench would be exciting. So
totally. All right. Now you mentioned Dele Alli being the ultimate Burn. Well, I see your Burn, and I raise you Dan Burn.
Thank you, Mr. Partridge.
Surely the ultimate Burn at 4.4 million.
Interesting.
Big boy.
Wasn't it?
He's a big boy.
Is he going to go straight to that team, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. At his boyhood club as well. He'll be. I reckon I can see him scoring a debut header actually down there.
It's a good option, isn't it? It's cheap. Definitely want to look at.
Okay. And finally, somebody you might want to target. That's Matt Target. At 4.7 million.
How's your audition going for permanent host?
Well,
smoothly, I would suggest.
We'll let the listeners decide. But come deadline day, he was a moving target from Aston Villa to Newcastle.
He was, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because they got in Chris Wood, they got Trippier who can ping crosses in, Target who can ping crosses in.
It feels a very un-Eddie Howe squad to me.
Yeah,
we're used to expansive, counter-attacking, which actually they had a lot of players that could do that. But perhaps he's realised just, for this season especially, he just needs a firm base and maybe go back to basics.
Well, he said that Callum Wilson he'll be lucky if he just plays the last few games of the season. So he's had to change tact because that's what he's got there.
I wonder if owners of St Maximin are maybe a little bit unnerved by that, because I imagine fullbacks just pinging balls into the box and relying upon set pieces. That's not really St Maximin's game, is it? I mean, he'll get game time, but I just wonder if that's playing to his strengths.
Well, it'll just give them another option. I think at the moment their option is give it to St Maximin and then hope he does something, which is pretty much what Eddie said in after the last game they played. But now they've got other options. Then it means defenders don't have to only think about St Maximin.
All right. Okay. Next question. Sandy from Newton Abbott has been in touch.
Oh, Newton Abbott.
Yeah, she's asking, does Palace's good fixture run coming up make Odson, Edouard and Gallagher, both at 6.5 and 6.2 million respectively, essential halves?
Essential halves? That's terrible grammar from Sandy Palace's fixtures: Norwich away, Brentford away, Chelsea at home, Watford away. That's a double game week in 26. Burnley at home, Wolves away.
Not for me. I mean, I've been burnt with Gallagher earlier in the season, but what about Michael Elise? Started again at the weekend, and it was only against Hartlepool in the cup, but looked really good. I suppose the only issue with him is potentially his game time. But if you're looking at, I mean, I think he's played the full 90 in the last 2, and he's only got 0.2% ownership. Sat there at 5.4 million. Would you be tempted, boys? Looks a real talent.
I'd just like to see him start more regularly. He started the last 2 in the Premier League.
Yeah,
but I think I prefer to have Gallagher for the extra 0.8 million. He's got 61 more points than Elise this season.
Yeah, he just needs to run in the team, doesn't he? And he certainly seems to warrant one. But yeah, we'll see.
Oddson Edouard, Mike, you were championing him.
Yeah, I really like him. I may well swap Antonio out for him because I think Antonio's running on empty now. But Watford at home this weekend, I won't be changing this weekend, but maybe the following week. At the moment, I'm making no changes, given that we are only 24 hours away from deadline at the time of recording.
Lunacy.
Yeah, these are halcyon times for me.
So the deadline is Tuesday at 6:15, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Right then, who's been in touch now? It's Marty. Marty's been in touch. She asks, no need to be sexist with your assumptions. Liverpool have a great double game week in game week 26, but no game week in 27. So how are you approaching that? We've kind of touched on that already, Sandy. Marty, sorry, that was Sandy earlier. Marty, we've kind of already touched on that, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done that.
We've covered
all right. Okay, next up then we'll go to Jan. Jan says, who are we captaining this week with no doubles and Salah probably still absent? He will be absent.
It could be Jan.
No, it's Jan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I've seen a picture of it.
Who are we captaining? Well, that is a good question. I'm tempted to. I don't remember even putting him in my team, but I've got Harry Kane. So I'm thinking I may well keep him.
Okay.
I've got Harry Kane, or because Liverpool play on Thursday. Well,
Salah's not going to be back by then. Come on.
No, but so obviously we saw what happened in the African Cup of Nations, and you had the whole Salah versus Mane thing. And Salah has played 120 minutes in like 4 games in a row or something ridiculous. I could still see him saying to Klopp, "I want to play," but maybe off the bench.
No chance.
Maybe off the bench. But Jota is in my team, and Jota plays on the final day of the game week. So maybe Jota actually for me.
Yeah, scored in the cup during the week. So they're your 2. And what about you? Who are your captain and vice captain at this moment in time?
What about Bowen? Finally brought him in, probably a little bit late to the party. But they got Watford at home, haven't they? Which is obviously a very winnable game. A man in form. And actually, we just covered him. What about St. Maximan? A bit of a left field vice captain. Everton at home. I know Everton have had that new manager bounce with their win at the weekend under Frank. But St. Maximan would be my advice at the moment.
I'm genuinely intrigued to see, because I've got St. Maximan. I certainly won't be captaining him or vice captaining him. But I'm really genuinely tempted to see, intrigued to see even what Eddie does in terms of style of play, because I do fear that he's going to be kind of cut out of the game. He's not going to have the influence he previously did, and if he doesn't, then I'll be moving him on. My vice captain at the moment is Bowen, but I've got De Bruyne at home to Brentford currently.
Oh, De Bruyne. See, when I looked at my team and saw I had Kane, I was annoyed because I don't know where he came from. I must have put him in at some point. But I'd like De Bruyne. He's my player that I really want. So I'm now torn, but I've got two free transfers, so I could go Kane and Greenwood out and Edouard and De Bruyne in. What are your views?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like it because it then sits you alongside me again. I thought I had a differential there with De Bruyne. So from our league perspective, I'm disappointed by it hugely. But I'll take solace in the fact that I've just given you the idea, and any victory that comes your way will be in part due to my assistance.
That's okay. Yeah, you can angle it that way if you want.
Right, Eugene's been in touch.
Eugene Levy.
No, Eugene Felnick.
Okay.
Don't know. Eugene Felnick. He says, what's the best thing to do with premium players? We've kind of touched on this just now, haven't we? Rotate or just keep 2? Kane, Salah, Bruno, KDB, Son, Ronaldo. They're all tempting, but we can't have them all, says Eugene.
Hello there, Mr. Felnick. Yeah, that is. See, I've still got Salah.
Sorry, lads, why are you laughing at a listener's name?
No, it's absolutely
That's
no
his
reason
name.
at all. Okay, what a lovely name it is too.
I've carried Salah because I thought I had loads of value built up in him, but I don't think I do. I could easily swap Salah out for KDB this week and then just put Salah back in for the double game week.
Mm-hmm.
But that it just involves lots of transfers. I suppose this is what Eugene's asking. You know, is it worth doing that game week to game week, or
not for points? I think they all offer, with the exception maybe of Ronaldo and Bruno, all those boys they offer double-digit hauls on a regular basis. So if you've got the free transfers to play around with, then I'd do that. It very much depends on your squad, doesn't it? I mean, if you haven't got to do a lot of work on your squad, then yeah, it's worth considering. Have a little tinker.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck at the moment. I've got 2 Watford strikers. Any advice? What bin I could put them in?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Dennis, will he go straight back in? Do you think tomorrow night?
Who? Sorry,
Dennis.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? I imagine he will because he'd have been rested, and he's obviously been their danger man all season. But Roy isn't known for a great attacking football. But the only thing with the strikers is Kane is a good striker to have. Ronaldo can be. Edouard potentially with this run of fixtures. There really isn't many strikers in the game that you particularly want, is there?
It's difficult.
It's difficult. Let's go to our last question then, and this may give away the theme of all my names this week. It's Kaniki Murdoch, who's been in touch. That's right, they've all been characters from Greece. Kaniki asks, just to be clear, Betty Rizzo, Danny Zuko, Sandy from Olivia Newton-John, Marty Mascarino, thank you, Jan, it's just called Jan, Eugene Felnick, genuinely is a character in Greece. And now Kaniki Murdoch. Anyway, what do we do with Man United? Sorry, Phil, what's the matter?
Just why Greece?
Why not?
Okay, cool.
Thanks
so much. Glad we had this chat.
What do we do with Man United players? Why are they so patchy? They're patchier than Ant's beard.
Hey, don't be rude about my beard, but it's true. Yeah, I think if you're... It's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, I think the only argument you could have for keeping hold of them at the moment is that the fixtures look quite nice. And as we've just covered, they've got a double game week the following at the weekend, haven't they? So if you're looking for any to bring in, I would probably see how they react in their game tomorrow night away at Burnley. And then potentially Fernandes would be the only one for the double game week after that. But yeah, they are patchy as hell and haven't got any better, really, have they, since Ole Gunnar left?
They're just so... They're just not playing a style of football at all. They're just hoping that because they've got good players, they can grab a result. You can't see what they're doing on the pitch.
There's no identity.
Thank you. Good. That's the word. Thank you, identity. Yes.
No, you're most welcome. Okay, well, look, thanks so much to the cast of Greece for their questions this week. If you're the member of a musical or some kind of ensemble and you'd like to have the opportunity to share questions around, please do get in touch. You can contact us on Twitter by searching for Fancy Threesome and looking over your shoulder. Right. Let's preview the game week then, lads. And what we'll do is we'll just pick one player from each of these fixtures that we want to go with, okay? No great explanation needed. Fixtures are as follows. Newcastle against Everton, Tuesday, 7:45 kickoff. One of 3 evening kickoffs on the Tuesday. Newcastle, Everton. Who's your pick? Anthony, you can have one player only.
Sir Maximan for me.
Okay, Phil.
Trippier.
I'm going to go Everton. I think reinvigorated.
That's not a player.
I haven't finished yet. I'm going to go Everton. I'm going to go Richarlison. Oh, indeed, Richarlison.
Indeed. Nice.
Okay, next up, West Ham, Watford. Oh, feels like some pretty obvious picks here, but let's hear them.
Souček.
Oh, a little bit outside the box.
Cresswell.
Anthony. Cresswell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see Watford scoring? I can't.
Okay.
On set pieces, boys.
Good shout, actually. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
All right.
Okay.
Well, all right. I'll go Lanzini.
Lanzini.
Who just for just putting out there now. He's my punt this week.
Named after the glamorous restaurant that people go to on Neighbours.
Neighbours rest in peace.
Yes. Yeah, how are you feeling about that, Phil?
I'm troubled. And I'm troubled, and I feel partially to blame because for the past couple of months, at least, we haven't watched it after watching it every day of our lives, just because it's just so much going on at the moment. So we just kind of read what's been happening. But yeah, the end of Neighbours would be very sad. I had an email today from Alan Fletcher, who plays Carl Kennedy.
Sorry, you had an email from Alan Fletcher, or everybody on his database did?
I mean, why? That's the same thing.
Okay, fine.
I mean,
he reached out to you, Phil. He reached out to you and he said,
he said that they are hoping to find a channel to pay for the program in the UK, and then it would still be able to keep going. I mean, we've got.
If not, I imagine this is the moment Hollywood have been waiting for to snap him up.
Well, exactly. But yeah. me and my wife have Neighbours did a storyline on Lassiter's Bridge. For those who watch Neighbours or don't watch Neighbours, Lassiter's is a complex where they have a lot of stuff happen. They've got like a park there. They've got a bridge with a river or a lake. And we've got a lock that has our names on it. And Alan Fletcher personally clipped a padlock to the bridge and then threw the key in a river, which is
Phil. Do you want to at this point insert the audio of Alan Fletcher saying that he's going to do this?
No.
He can't get sacked now, mate. He's off to Hollywood.
Well, okay. Here's the audio. Beautiful, isn't it? What a legend! What a legend, Alan Fletcher. Yeah,
talking of legends, someone's just. I mean, this is ridiculous. Someone's just turned up at my desk with a quarter pounder of cheese from McDonald's. Wowee.
I mean, I've just seen you eat a whole meal and 2 very large cookies.
I know,
but it's a free burger.
What do you do with that? Anyway, so good on Carl and long may Neighbours reign. Okay, Burnley against Manchester United. Pick a player, any player. Got to pick one.
I fancy Weghorst for a goal.
I know you do, but which player do you think is going to do well?
Okay, cool. So childish.
Childish. And actually, if you did, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Just to be, clear.
No. My wife might. Yeah, I'm going to go for Weghorst.
Wow. Okay. Home to Man United. Phil has gone Weghorst and
Fernandes for me can be the only one from the fixture.
Yeah. I'm going to go Alanga. Wow. Man City, Brentford. I've already nailed my colours to the mast very much of Kevin De Bruyne here. What about you, lads?
I've got a feeling Nathan Ake might start. I wouldn't put him in your team. He's not going to be consistent enough. But I've got a feeling Ake may start. So, yeah, I'm going to say Ake.
I'll go Mahrez then in that case.
Okay.
Which could be the worst 2 bits of advice we've ever given.
Mahrez again formed very well in the cup this weekend. Norwich against Palace, a revived Norwich City. Practically the formed team of the division now.
Out of the relegation zone, no less.
So would you go a Norwich asset or would you go Palace?
Do you know what I would?
Which?
Aaron's boys is my shout. He's not my punt this week, but he would be my shout from this game. He would be a good punt though. He's only got 1% ownership.
Okay, Phil.
Yeah, I can't remember who said Norwich were playing. I'm so sorry.
Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah, Odsonne Edouard.
I'm going to go Grant Hanley up from a set piece, headed goal.
You love a bit of Grant Hanley.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah,
really do. Love it. Okay.
Spurs Saints then. Both share. It's the one game of the season where they feel slightly awkward about the chant because they both share the same chant when the Saints go marching in, when the Spurs go marching in. It's the Glenholder Derby. But who are you picking, Phil?
Son. Son. I'd very much like to have Son in my team right now. He's back.
And
I'm going to go, boys, and this was my punt. Spoiler alert: Emerson Royale.
Really? It's an interesting pick.
Thank you.
That feels quite left field, but
differential, boys. But yeah, what a goal he scored at the weekend.
Okay, I'm going to go Brozier. My Brozier from another Mother.
Wow.
I think he might be. He's flagged up on the game at the moment, Brozier.
Oh,
knee injury, 75% chance of playing.
Yeah, I'm confident. He's a determined guy. Aston Villa against Leeds is next. Aston Villa against Leeds. It's the Robbie Keane derby. I think he played for Villa. May not have done, but even so, they're still calling it that. He must have played for Villa.
Who? Robbie Keane?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if he did.
I think he did. Anyway, in this game, I'm going to go for a man that I should have started last week because he would have got me 10 whole points, which is pretty much more than the rest of my team got. Buendia.
Yes.
He did. He did play for Aston Villa.
Thank goodness. Thanks.
That could have been
for
awkward.
2 months on loan.
What a 2 months they were.
So MLS, memorable.
Yeah. There you go. Phil, good knowledge, that, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Ridiculous knowledge. Who was your pick from this game anyway, Phil?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna go for Coutinho.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got Coutinho. Excited to see how he goes here. And Raf I've got as well, but he is marked yellow.
Ooh.
So we'll see what happens there. Liverpool against Leicester. I mean, this feels like it's going to be a goal fest for Liverpool.
Yeah, Leicester can't defend set pieces, so Van Dijk.
I'll go Roberto Firmino.
And I'll go Robertson. And finally then, Wolves against Arsenal.
Well, 0-0, so which defenders?
Tierney for me.
No, you love Tierney, don't you?
I love him. He's been one of the only good players in my whole team all season.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Sarr, the goalkeeper.
I'm going to go with Ramsdale, the goalkeeper.
Wow.
Oh, we're all expecting a
goal fest in this one, yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. Stick around for that one Thursday night. Well, you've got the choice of Liverpool, Leicester, or Wolves, Arsenal. I know which one I'd be choosing. But there we go. Lads, look, our time is nearly up. Crowds are gathering here. We're gathering quite the crowd here in my studio. Keen to hear who we're going to have as our punt.
Oh, well, let me tell you, there's no one in my studio, and there can't be for another 5 days.
Well, me and Mike have already had spoiler alerts and revealed our punts.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is Emerson Royale. Mike, yours was?
I've forgotten mine. I genuinely have.
Lanzini.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, Lanzini, thanks.
Amazing. I could have said anyone. Mike, Phil, even who's yours?
I'm going to go with a player whose name sounds like how I like my straws, Buendia.
Nice.
So I'll go with Buendia.
Excellent. Nice. Well, lads, it's been a pleasure and a pleasurage.
What you mean is an absolute sham.
There's been a bit of that, but look, good to get back on the horse, lads. Even if the horse is limping and lame
and has COVID.
I wasn't calling you're not the horse, Phil. I wasn't referring to you as lame.
Good, because I didn't want you to get back on me either.
No, indeed. Listen, thanks very much for listening, folks. Check us out on Twitter. Search Fantasy Threesome. Look after your shoulder. Look over it. It's been an utter sham. Thanks to special guests, the cast of Grease this week, and Alan Fletcher. We'll be back ahead of this weekend, previewing more fixtures in our own inimitable style. Much love. Bye-bye now.
Goodbye now.
Take care. Bye.